Well, we are back and we're having the last celebration of Carnival tonight with Buckwheat Zydeco. But before we get to this evening, you're going to be out there all day. And did you realize how intense the sun is at this altitude? Well, we want to introduce you to the Ski SunSmart program. It's going to be launched this week here in the Vail Valley, and it's part of the Ray Festa Melanoma Foundation. And joining me now, I have a couple of the board members. We have Dennis Matich. We also have Stephen Heaslip. And great to have you guys here. And you guys are kind of going across the nation talking to folks about the importance of sunscreen, putting it on, and the importance of knowing the altitude and the elevation and your dangers around you.
Yes, yeah, and this essentially is our kickoff for a national launch for Ski SunSmart, which is a program really focused on winter outdoor sports.
Yep.
So many of us think about sun smartness in the summer, when we're on the beach, when we're at the lake, when we're outside. We're much more conscious of where the sun is. Skiers and snowboarders are also conscious of the sun, but they may not be aware of some of the other things, such as 90% of the sun's rays get reflected off of the snow.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't until you go to a ski area where you realize, oh, you burn the bottom of your chin, you burn the bottom of your nose, bottom of your ears.
Right.
So we always tell people, you know, make sure you lather up all sides.
Lather up and keep lathering up.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's a very important thing. Steve is correct. So many people also put on the initial sunscreen and think they're done for the day, but you need to reapply.
Yeah.
That's really important.
And even apply it pretty thickly, even if you've got a little of the greasy sheen still on.
You're absolutely, in fact, most people apply sunscreen too thinly. They apply it until it disappears.
Yeah.
It's absolutely the best way to do it is so that there's a good coating of it.
Yeah, and that really is protection you can see
Right.
and protection you can feel.
Right, right.
Now let's talk about our altitude, because there's some stats, and you guys are going to be giving away some sunscreen and the Ski SunSmart fact cards that are going to give people the real truths about this. And one thing we need to realize is the altitude. I have a lot of people say, oh, I'm from California, I'm from Hawaii, I'm from Mexico, I don't, you know, I'm used to the sun. But the sun at our altitude is amazingly intense.
Yes, and very simple fact. For every 1,000 feet of elevation above sea level, your exposure to the sun increases UV rays by 5%.
Okay.
So if we're at 9,000 feet, we have 45% higher rate of exposure to the UV rays.
Well, it's no wonder. I mean, I'm fair-skinned, and if I'm out to lunch or something, have a short-sleeved shirt on, I will burn in about 10 minutes. I mean, it's just that quick on me.
Right. And the interesting thing about, we're not saying don't be out in the sun, don't enjoy the sun. It really is about enjoying it responsibly. It really is about wearing the protective clothing and ensuring that you have sunscreen, continue to reapply, because melanoma is mostly, for the most part, it's a disease that's preventable. It's a disease that doesn't need to be fatal. And with the education for prevention and then early detection, it really has an impact on the survivability.
And I talked a little bit to Terry yesterday, who was telling me about Ray Festa, and this is who this is in honor of.
Ray passed away from melanoma at the young age of 53 years old in 1992. And again, if it had been detected earlier, it absolutely was a death that was preventable. At that time, his family started a foundation and did fundraising and really took the approach of funding and helping to fund some research for cures for melanoma. About 2 years ago, we reconstituted the board of directors and invited a medical director, Dr. Danny Groischer, on, and we talked about where are our efforts best placed. And we came up with we readjusted our mission basically to say it's more about education and awareness, prevention, and early detection. And we have community-based programs that actually promote this and that really make a difference in communities. We do free skin screenings at high schools. We have Team SunSmart, where we go to sports teams and
another program we just launched.
Yeah. And I know that you are active in New Jersey, Florida, and hey, if you want to start your own local chapter of this, you can.
We would love to have one started out here. We'd love for people to we'd love for this to be a national organization with chapters wherever people are interested in being smart about being.
And in fact, we are a 100% volunteer organization. And the point of differentiation for us as a foundation is we do actually do things in communities, and that requires funding. And we're constantly looking for, we want local chapters, we're constantly looking for donations, corporate sponsors, people that can support our cause, because what we're doing, we believe, is really making a difference and is an important activity in the community.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, thanks for coming. They're going to be busy giving out the Ski Sun Smart Effect Card as well as the sunscreen. And if you want some more information, rayfesta.org, and you'll learn a little bit more about how you can prevent melanoma. We'll be right back.